Happy Gaur Purnima to everyone. At this very moment, millions of devotees of Sri Krishna and his non-different incarnation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, are celebrating his advent around the world. Yesterday, many people are following in the US, and I don't know about Europe, but I know that right now, as we speak, they're preparing to do the bathing ceremony for Lord Chaitanya in Mayapur, his birthplace, in Vrindavan, his second appearance place, non-different. Krishna appears in Vrindavan, Chaitanya appears in Mayapur, and Mayapur and Vrindavan are described to be two manifestations of the same transcendental abode. In the spiritual world, the abode of Lord Chaitanya and the abode of Lord Krishna are like parallel dimensions. So it's said that those who are very intelligent, what does it mean? Those who are realized in their relationship with God, that is supreme intelligence. There's a verse we talked about the other day. Adhyapya selila kore gorarai kona kona bhagyavan deki barapai. Those very intelligent people, very qualified and very fortunate people can see the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya going on now. Adhyapya, those pastimes that we're talking about, not only those pastimes, but his eternal pastimes. What are his eternal pastimes? People think everything has to be written in a book to be a pastime. Right? If it wasn't written down, it didn't happen. God's life is every day as a fresh, miracle. And the Nitya Lila, eternal pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, how many pages are you going to write? I'll tell you why this is something like I especially feel relevant to me, because I spent like 5-6 years typing 2 lectures a day as they were spoken live by our Vaishnav. People would hear me typing and they thought it was like, people would listen to the recording, they thought it was raining in the recording because I was typing. I killed like 2 motherboards for computers. All the keys wore away and the computer was like, got liberation. First computer I used was an old Dell. And for like 2-3 years I was just, and then it was like, all right, Haribo. And then I used a ThinkPad, and ThinkPads are good, strong keyboards. Anyhow, the point is that how much are you going to type? How much are you going to publish? We have our Vrindavan Brahmachari. See this whole wall of books, right? Like 80 books and 10 more coming. We have our lectures of our Gurudev up to volume 50. But now we're arriving soon in a few days up to volume 57. And I have waiting for me to proofread 58, 59, 60, 61. He just sent me final proofreading after layout for the next 4 volumes. But Vrindavan Prabhu is not waiting. Okay, I'll wait for that. No, he's already up to what, 68?
I'm 1 lecture away from finishing 67.
So he's almost finishing volume 67. People think, who's going to read all these books? Vrindavan is going to read them as he's typing. And our Vrinda Devi is reading everyone. The people who get to read are the people who are doing service. Right? It's my service to read. It's my service to type. It's my service to proof. It's your service to go back to Godhead. All right? All of our services help us go back to Godhead. That's our real service. That's the best service to Guru. If you want to know the best service you can do to Guru, help him, help you, help Krishna. Right? We think, no, I have to go and save everybody else except me. All these songs, we sing so many songs. And you know what they say? Usually the last line is, oh, alas, I have not achieved this wealth. Everyone else is getting liberated. Everyone else is getting saved. Everyone is developing pure devotion. But for me, Gora Pahu Nabajina Mainu Prema Ratana Dhana Hela. Oh, that jewel, priceless jewel of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. I had it in my hand. What does that mean? You all have it in your hand. That's what it means. What does that mean? entered the family of Lord Chaitanya. You're wearing tilak. This is the symbol of the followers of Lord Chaitanya. You've entered his family. You have that jewel in your hand. Prema Ratana Dhan. What is that jewel? Pure love. People think, no, it's dogma, it's religion, it's power, it's institution. That's the jewel. Jewel means, where's the money? Where's the power? Who will be our followers? How will we conquer the world? That is the jewel. We will be Alexander the Great Devotee. Right? Bhakta Napoleon. Right? Bhakta Hitler. Bhakta Mussolini. Bhakta Biden. I have to be fair, you know. I have to be fair, you know. I can't just... I'm not into politics. That's why I can just say, you know, they have a joke. Maybe I shouldn't say it. But I'll apply it to politicians. You know, so what do they say? I don't know if I should say it. All right. Okay, we'll go for it. It's not a bad joke. It's not a crude joke. It's just a not nice joke. So we'll move forward. But I'll give you an example. I have a friend who was in politics for like 15 years with the sincerest of intentions, maybe 10, 15 years since he was young. You know, you start in like college, you know, groups and this and that. But after a while, you know, he was once with his party and they had like this big discussion, you know, and someone asked like sincerely, you know, if you could win and achieve power by switching to the other party, would you do it? And he said, everyone raised their hand but him. He said that was the last day he was in politics. Right? Because you see how people are like, right? I don't know why we're talking about this, but anyhow. People are so into their positions, right? Like, no, this is it. This is my God. Right? It's like that. Or this is my child. Don't hurt my child, this policy. But they said, if you were to get power and achieve that position in the other party, would you do it? Oh, yes. So the point is, I'm not into politics. I'm anti-politics. That does not mean anti-governance. Parents are necessary. Everything is needed according to its degree, right? Otherwise you have anarchy. Anarchy is good when everyone's a pure devotee. I'm telling you, this is Satya Yuga. They say in the golden age, everyone is Paramahamsa. Everyone is a saint. So you don't need laws when everyone's a saint. Right? Don't murder each other. Don't kill, don't steal from each other. Don't take each other's part. You know, it's like, okay, if you're a saint, I've heard a saying that, we'll get to Gaura's pastimes, I promise. But this is just a prelude, you know? Anyway, let's move forward. So, what I want to mention, if I can try to stay on track, is the mission is for us, and the mission is also to help people. But don't forget that the mission is for us. Prema ratana dhana helaya hairainu. This world will be here after we're gone. There will still be more souls that need to be saved after we're gone. Don't think that, oh, I will be on my white horse and save the world forever and ever 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 and ever. You'll get tired of playing that game, and really you can't save anyone. God is the Savior, and His pure devotees are the saviors. You know, in the Bible, it said that there's the St. John, right? John the Baptist? Or is it John the Baptist or it's the other John? There's a famous quote, right? The Apostle John, he said, I am the person who is coming. I'm not worthy to hold his shoes. John the Baptist, right? The person who is coming, I am not worthy to hold their shoes. Who thinks like that? So many big gurus, acharyas? The guru of Christ, right? He baptized Christ. And he said, I am not worthy to carry his shoes. He was like his teacher, right? I don't know. You teach me. You are scholars.
Yes.
Tell me. I know I'm serious. I want to hear.
It's his cousin and also came to pave the way for his mission.
John the Baptist was a cousin? Okay. See, I'm learning something. This is the point. I'm trying to learn. So he said, I've come to pave the way. But it doesn't mean he wasn't a preacher. This is the point. He was baptizing. He was in the role of guru. Right? That's a guru position. It's just different traditions, how much do you worship or how much do you don't worship or how much do you think of them as a godly figure or divine figure. Some people think their guru is as good as, it's like there's so many shades of this. But essentially he was in that role of a guru, right? A teacher. But he said, I am not worthy of carrying the shoes of that person who's coming. Why? Because that is the anointed one. God's own son. You know who's God's own son? It's not just Christ. It means any pure devotee. The pure devotee is God's chosen son. All living beings are God's children. Krishna says, Pitahamasya jagato. Mata dhata pitamaha. I am the father of this world. People say, no, but Ganesh is God, but this personality is God, Indra is God. They don't have their Bhagavad Gita where they say, I am the father of this world. And I am the mother of this world. I am the creator. Before this world came into being, it was I who was present. After this world came into being, it was I who was present. After it left, it was I. So Krishna is saying, I am the father, I am the mother. And you're all my children. But no one likes there to be a chosen son. Right? This is the source of politics. That's why they crucified Christ. Why is it that he's the chosen son? We'll get to the point, don't worry. But we see this pastime play out again and again and again and again. The life of Ramanujacharya. Why is he the chosen? Madhvacharya. Ramanujacharya, their own priests tried to poison him by putting poison in the Charnamrita. You imagine you're doing the arts and you think, you know what? Ramanujacharya will take first and I'll just put some poison and give it to him. And by chance, when they were taking it to him, a drop fell out. You're carrying it to him, thinking, should I do it? Should I? No. A drop fell out, and the animal ate it and died on the spot. Still, they weren't happy. So then, sometime later, they thought, let us feed him lunch. Come, we'll give you prasad. Put the poison there. And the wife of the priest was very soft-hearted, and she went and told the servant. She didn't say, she's a chaste wife. How can she say directly her husband is doing this? But she said, before you give it to Ramanujacharya, give a little prasad to a dog. Why? This is called animal sacrifice. This is the result of cruelty. Why? The cruel nature of people and their cruel intention has to fulfill its desire. But she said, how can we give this to a Guru Maharaj? Give it to the dog. Give it to the dog was liberated. So, I don't plan on any Harikatha. Actually, I want to talk about his sweet pastimes, but it's good to enter a thought and conclude it and then move forward. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's own life, actually, it's what we left off on. When he started preaching, everyone was against him. Now he's gone mad. Even his own mother thought he had gone mad. Why? Why is he just talking about love of God? What's the speciality of this love of God topic? Live in this world, be happy in this world, there's a God. But develop a relationship of love, and that is your purpose? Experience the bliss of a loving relationship? No. And instead it becomes, put God on the altar to establish yourself as the object of worship. Many religions follow that practice. Not many religions, but many people take over this pure religion, which means develop love of God, relationship with God. And they sit in that position and say, I am the representative of God. Worship me. Right? I am the representative of God. Worship me. This is the road to hell. Broad and wide. So Lord Chaitanya is very merciful. But this is something to be aware of. This is something to strive to avoid. Right? The reason I'm going through this topic, I want to go through each thing comfortably, peacefully, nicely to help us understand how we can actually progress in life. And a lot of it is based off having the right motivations, actions, with the right moods. That is bhakti. Service with the right mood. That is bhakti. I'll give you an example. This is from the other day we were reading. We didn't get to this part, but it comes up. What happened? The wrestlers in the arena of Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna, and he was having fun wrestling with them. So you'd say it is bhakti. Krishna was being pleased. Anything that's pleasing to Krishna is bhakti? No, the mood to please Krishna with any devotional service is bhakti. What's the other example? The wife of Vidura saw Krishna. She was very poor. And she saw Krishna came to her home. Krishna left the meal offered by Duryodhana, which was very opulent. But Duryodhana was a politician. He said, I'll feed Krishna and be nice to him to get my way. This is in the Mahabharata. And Krishna said, no, I'm not hungry. He wanted him to eat royal dinner. It's like a state. He wanted to do a state dinner for Krishna as a messenger of the court of the Pandavas. And Krishna said, no, I'm not so hungry. And then he said, no, you should eat. And he said, actually, I've come here for my purpose. And there's 3 reasons you'll eat in this kind of occasion. One is if you're really hungry. Second is if it's your friend and you're not hungry. Third is if your purpose can be accomplished. And he said, you're not acting like my friend. You want to kill my friends. I'm not hungry. I already ate. And 3, will you give the Pandavas at least 5 villages? I've seen this play out in my life many times, this narrative. And I've read about it dozens of times, going back thousands of years. This is an old story. It's a very old story, right? So Krishna asked Duryodhana, will you give the Pandavas just some little place to live and fulfill their duties as a Kshatriya? As a righteous leader, will you give them that much? And Duryodhana said, I will not give them enough land to put the pin of a needle. And Krishna said, okay, I'm not really hungry. And you're not acting like my friend because you tried to kill them many times. You took their wife and you stripped her naked in the court. I protected her. You stole their kingdom and banished them to the forest for 13 years. You tried to burn them in a house. You gave them a house, a big, beautiful house. We've made you a palace. But they constructed it out of the most flammable material possible. You see some things that are highly flammable. That's the original highly flammable house. And right when they're sleeping, they lit it on fire. And it was the friend, Vidura, who informed them, be very careful. I constructed a tunnel there. I knew the architect, and I made a special tunnel to escape. And there was a sacrifice made so that they could, escape. That 5 people had to leave, 6 people, 5 Pandavas and Kunti, right? I'm pretty sure that's how the story goes. And they left. So Duryodhana said, I will not give you enough land for the tip of a needle. This is called envy. This is called jealousy. This is called pride. So, why are we telling this story? Because we have to be cautious in our missionary ambitions. That's why I'm telling this story. We have to preach. We have to distribute the message. But we have to remain humble, knowing that we are not the doer, and God is the doer, and He is the master, and He is the savior, and He is the father, and He also has His chosen sons, His chosen daughters. It's not a gender-based thing. But time and time again, we see the pure devotees opposed. Time and time and time again. Our Gurudev, by all their peers, by all their family, time and time again we hear this story play out. And I've seen it play out. And it doesn't hurt them, it hurts you. Hurts those who are in that opposing party. I actually just read it. Someone shared a quote from, I think it was your Guru Maharaj. I'm pretty sure. I read it today. I can try and find it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why these things come up, but they were saying, oh, why does the politics and quarreling happen? He says, because people don't focus on practicing themselves bhakti. Chant the Maha Mantra. Develop your relationship with Chatinandan Gaur Hari. Develop your relationship with Krishna. Develop in your own bhakti. And have humility and take shelter of Krishna and Gaur Hari and the Parampara. Then he said this won't happen. But he said the nature of Kali Yuga is that it will always happen. It's just you have an opt-in or opt-out right. This is what he said. He said, they asked him, I'm like very sure it was your Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Bhaiba Puri Goswami Maharaj. So they asked him, why does this happen? And he said, this is the nature of the Kali Yuga. It is the nature. It's woven into the fabric of this age, right? But he said, you can basically, I'm paraphrasing, but you can participate in that or not participate in it. So we practice Krishna consciousness, right? And that goes on, but we practice Krishna consciousness. Swami Prabhupada said the same thing. He said, enough, meetings and resolutions with no solutions, chant the holy names, hear about Krishna. All right? Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki, Shri Radha Ramanju ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam, Hare Krishna. So we'll move forward with this topic, all right? We saw this in the life of Narottam Das Thakur. Sometime on this topic, we'll complete it, right? We saw this in the life of Narottam Das Thakur. Everyone opposed. We saw this in the life of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. The life of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he gave a class once in Puri. And afterwards, the Babaji, like one of the famous Babajis in Puri, sent his disciples to dig up 1 foot of dirt for where everyone had sat. He said, all that dirt has become contaminated because he doesn't preach the way we like. And that night, he almost died. And Jagannath Baladev came in his dream and were like punching his cheeks. And he had like the most extreme case of dysentery in history. Projectile, both directions. All right. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, his son, they ambushed in a narrow passageway while they're on pilgrimage, and they were throwing bricks and glass bottles, trying to kill him. And it was his disciple that saved him. But it is God that saved him. He was never at harm. But this is something I heard many years ago from the Vaishnavas, is that, everyone is God's children. But the pure devotee, we have, in our lineage, so many illustrious acharyas. We should think for ourselves, we are not worthy to carry their shoes. This is a personal meditation for each of us, for myself, and for each of us. I am not qualified to carry their shoes. Oh, but I know almost as much as they do. It's not about knowledge. We hear this many times. Oh, I'm just 2 fingers short of Gurudev. Right? If I just learn a few more verses, I can walk like them, talk like them, quack like them. People think like that. I know stories of people say they learn how to imitate their guru's cadence, their guru's walk mannerisms. Krishna said Arjuna asked Krishna in the Gita, how do they sit? How do they talk? How do they walk? They're all different, but they all have pure love and they've realized their pure relationship with Krishna, and they're on the mission of Krishna to help souls achieve that highest grace, love of God and relationship with God in His spiritual kingdom. That's their mission. It's their mission, not our mission. We don't pray to carry their shoes. We pray to worship their shoes. You understand? You have the audacity to think, I am the carrier of the shoes. Yeah, one day you're carrying them, next day you're wearing them. Understand? Today I'm carrying the shoes, next day I'm trying them on. And the next day I'm adding a platform. High heels. Okay. Why? Because you don't understand what is pure love of God. We go to Mangalarti and we're singing love songs. But we're in this like dogmatic fanaticism. I'm singing a love song as a military warrior soldier in conquest. You're singing a love song, right? There's 2 love songs that we sing every morning. Actually, there's like 5. The first one, Gurvastakam, the love song to Guru and his relationship to Krishna. And then we sing to Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada personally. 12 verses glorifying his transcendental qualities. He is the Son of God, right? That special position where they're like a Christ-like saint. That means they've realized that personal relationship with God. They've realized pure love of God. Every person, every jiva is a servant of God, a child of God. Everyone by their nature. But who is on that platform? Who has realized that and is helping others towards that? Right? So we sing those love songs, and they're very sweet. But then we sing Mangala Shri Guru Gaura, Mangala Murati. We sing a love song to the divine couple, how they awake before dawn. And we pray for their merciful glance upon us. Please, Subhadristi karo ebe jagatera prati jaguka hridhaye mora sumangala rati. Please, like the sun rises in the morning and gives light to all beings, may your vision fall upon us and make auspiciousness arise in our life. What is that auspiciousness? Sumangala rati. May that supremely auspicious love for God awaken in our heart. Jaguka hridaye mora, in my heart. It's good to be selfish. I am selfless, but I am hungry. I am hungry to show everyone how selfless I am by saving them all. Right? No, it's okay to be selfish. Jaguka hridaye mora. Sumangala rati. May that fulgent sun of divine love of God arise within my heart. Then what do we sing? Oh. Mayura sukadi sari kotopi karaja mangala jagara hetu kariche viraja. Every morning we sing, right? I am Pujari, I am waking the Lord. Ring, 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 blow the horn. I will wake God. No, that's not the song. The song is, first like very softly the cuckoos. Kuhu, kuhu. Mayura, Sukadi, the parrots, sweetly talking, Radha Krishna's glories. That's what the parrots do. Mayura, peacocks, kika, kika. And then Sukadi, the parrots, male and female parrots. And one is describing the glories of Krishna, one is describing the glories of Radharani. And they're very softly speaking. Sari, Katapika Raj, all the different birds in the early morning are singing the sweet glories of the divine couple. And Radha Krishna just begin to stir in their sleep. Just begin. Jaguka hridhay. No. Mayura sukari sari katapika raj mangala jagara hetu kariche viraj. This is the cause of your awakening. Then sumadhura dhvani kare jata saki gan. Mangala shravane bhaje madhura kujan. Then what happens? In that beautiful forest grove, that is the reality. We are here in Maya. Every morning, we're meditating on reality. That's our Mangala Arati. How can the auspicious love for God appear in our heart? Mangala Arati. Mangala come, Rati. Come Come, Rati. How can that love for God, that supreme auspicious thing, appear in my heart? That is the prayer. When Lord Chaitanya began exhibiting his ecstatic love, someone said, we should cut off the heads of all the atheists. Right? He's weeping in love of God, and people are thinking, great, now let's conquer the world. Right? This is how it's described. Lord Chaitanya was weeping, his tears were drenching the ground. You put your finger in 3-4 inches and it's wet. With tears of joy, of ecstasy, of love, of separation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the first 4 or 5 days coming home, he could only say, Kotai Krishna, Kotai Krishna, Kotai Krishna. This is preaching. Like our acharyas, Srila Govinda Goswami Maharaj, pure devotee, your Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Swami Prabhupada, pure devotees. Their heart is this powerful love for Krishna. And it's the will of Krishna that impels them to preach and help people come to Krishna. But their heart and their mood and their will is, how can I run towards Krishna? And it's a great sacrifice for them to come to this world and to be in this world and to try to help people in this world. That is their sacrifice. Ordinary person would think, no, I need to become Bhakta Biden, Bhakta Napoleon. I need to conquer the world. I need to exert my power over things. That is what it means to preach. But our saintly devotees, they're running towards Krishna. We're fortunate if we get to see them and take the dust rising from their feet as they're running towards Krishna. And if we're very fortunate, we can try to follow behind. Therefore we sing, Krishna se tomara. Vaishnava is who has Krishna as their property. They possess Krishna, they control Krishna, he is in their heart. Krishna se tomar. Krishna is yours. That is Vaishnava. Krishna is on speed dial, and he picks up at the first ring for these personalities. There was a story of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada. One time, he gave an instruction to somebody. He had given a different instruction like 4 or 5 hours earlier, and then he changed it. And it was like, okay, you have to go there and, it's like a whole expedition. And they said, oh, dear Guru Maharaj, we accept your instruction. Thank you. Please, if next time you could just give us like a week notice. And he said, what can I do? Krishna told me to tell you this like 2 minutes ago. Right? What am I supposed to do? He said, I just received the instruction from my Guru Maharaj, from his Guru Maharaj, from Krishna. He said, I just received the instruction. So I'm passing it on. That is our family, our line. We're all following Krishna's instructions. Krishna is the original desire, will. And Radharani and her agents and her devotees, her representatives, fulfill his desires. So those are our pure devotees. We pray, Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite paro tomara shakati ache. Amito kangal, Krishna Krishna bholi, dhaitava pache pache. If this mood wakens in your heart, then you can become qualified to preach. Krishna is yours. Krishna se tomar. Krishna dite par. You have the power to give Krishna. Who has that power? Only Radharani. Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite para. You can say that you control Krishna and you have the power to give Krishna. There's only Radharani. And her agents, her representatives, those in the line of Lord Nityananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Braja Gopis, and the eternal residents of Vrindavan, they have that power. Amito Kangal, I am just a destitute beggar. Krishna, Krishna, Bholi, chanting Krishna's names, following your instructions. Dhaitava pache pache, running behind you. This is the mood that resolves all politics. Immediately dissolves it. Because my aim is love of God. That is the wealth of the heart. I'm praying for that sun of divine love to arise in my heart. If I have taste for that, greed for that, this whole world is a drama. This whole samsara is a soap opera that never ends. It's the longest rerun ever, and the first season and the last season, all the middle seasons all suck. Okay? 1,000 varieties of suckiness. But people love drama and soap opera, so we like to watch it. But when it happens in our own lives, we think, oh, I like to observe it. All right? The point is, as we develop greed, loyam, the Krishna consciousness movement is founded on greed for love of God. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati kriyatam jadi kutopi labhyate tatra lolyam api mulyam ekalam janma koti sukritarna labhyate. Millions of lifetimes of your own efforts. I am the doer. Your own sukriti. I am a pious worker. Doing so many things will not develop this love of God. You must fall down, develop that mood. I want to fall at your feet. That's why we sang this song last night. Gorapahu na bajiya mainu aji prema ratana dhana helaya harainu Gorapahu na bajiya mainu. Alas, I have not developed this love of Gauranga. I had that jewel in my hand. That is our life. This is my life, that is your life. Wearing tilak, Gaudiya Vaishnava, wearing Kantimala, chanting the Mahamantra, taking shelter in this line, initiation in this line. That is the jewel in your hand. But a great fool is the one who squanders that opportunity and runs after love, puja, pratishta. Name, fame, recognition, Kanaka Kamani, pratishta bhagani. Charyache jar seto Vaishnav. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada was such a revolutionary. He said, if you are attached to wealth, women, followers, why do they say wealth, women, and followers? Why is this like kind of discrimination talking about women? No, it's this demonic, egoic male egos that want to enjoy wealth and enjoy women and enjoy sovereignty, enjoy control, enjoy power. That is not how you are Vaishnav. You give that up. Charyache jar seto Vaishnav. They are Vaishnav, but it's not the giving up of that makes you a Vaishnav. She anasakta se shuddha bhakta. They are the pure devotee. Therefore, they've automatically given that up. So we take shelter of those pure devotees. Take shelter of those pure devotees. Pray to always be in the rays of their mercy. All right? And we sing very sweet love songs to the divine couple. Don't forget, we're worshiping the divine couple in the path of love, trying to awaken divine love. Taste the drops of that love. Pray for that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back and he was weeping in ecstasy saying, Kotai Krishna, day after day. How can I find Krishna? How can I find Krishna? He would hold on. You see when someone's like in a great, like it's Gurudev would say pathetic mood. It means pathos. Not pathetic as we think now, but deep pathos. And he would hold on to the necks of his friends, like to hold himself up as if he was weak and could not stand. And he would say, oh, my dear friend, my dear brother, can you tell me where I can find Krishna? Like the gopis searching for Krishna in the forest after he disappeared. Oh, my tulasi plant, oh, kadamba tree, oh, tamal tree, oh, cloud, oh, moon, oh, stars. Oh, where can I find Krishna? This is Vaishnavism. This is what it means to be a Krishna devotee. So therefore, Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati. Swami Prabhupada established this verse as the foundation of the Krishna consciousness movement. How can we develop that love of God? You must follow those who have it. Take association. It's a humble position. I need your association. Then we can progress in bhakti. I need your help. Then we can progress in bhakti. As soon as you think I am a telephone pole, right? I'm a tall tree supporting everyone. You're just a telephone pole, and the power lines are going along. But what's the use for you? How does it benefit you? Everyone else is getting saved, but I am fallen on the wayside, lamenting. Prema ratana dhana helaya haraini. That time for lamentation will come. But that's not the lamentation we want. We want to pray and lament, how do we receive love of God? Right? Praying for the love of God, not lamenting that I wasted my opportunity fighting over frivolous things. Trifles. Trifles? Fighting over trifles. Right? Like Dhruva Maharaj, fighting for a kingdom, but losing love of God, losing the kingdom of God. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began establishing his pastimes. People had difficulty understanding. Right? He said, Gopi, Gopi. He was calling out the names of the gopis. Ha Lalite, Ha Vishake, Ha Rupa, Ha Rati, Shri Radhe, Vrishabhananandini, Ha Devi Kaku. All these prayers of our Goswamis, it's all trying to help people understand the mood of Mahaprabhu and the moods of their hearts. What do we pray? Gurudev in his classes, what he would say? Ha Devi Kaku Bara Gadgada Yadyavacha Yache Nipatya Vidandavarudbhatarti Asya Prasadam Abudasya Janasya Kritva Gandharvike Nijagane Gananam Videhi. I'm falling as a stick at your feet, begging you with a choked voice, please accept me as your own. I need you. Right? We talk about this. I am yours, you are mine. Before we have the right to say, I am yours, you are mine, we should say, I need you. Please accept me. Right? So we sing, Sumadhura dhvani kare, jato saki gana, Mangala shravane bhaje, madhura kujana. In the early morning, pre-dawn, we're in Maya, but we get a chance to look towards reality. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada said it's the quality of sound by which you can come the closest to that spiritual reality. It's through the quality of sound. So here we are in this world, in Maya, illusion, temporary material life, attached to our bodies and minds and senses and enjoyments in this world. But by sound, by these songs of our saints who have realized this and who have left this for us, we can sing and come close to that reality. We come together and pray. We're praying for that reality to manifest in our hearts. How the gopis, when we are waking the divine couple, Lalita and Vishaka, Rupa and Rati are singing. We are singing, they are singing. Sumadhura dhvani kare jata saki gan. Radharani's friends are singing. Very simply, softly, sweetly. There's two kinds of kirtan, all right? Ecstatic, uproarious. Jum, 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 jum. Boom, 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 boom. All right, this is nice kirtan. We have this also. I lived in India a long time. This is our primary method of kirtan. Loud, hard rock kirtan. It's very ecstatic. 20 drums, 50 cymbals, bang, bang, bang. We have devotees come from Jagannath Puri into our temple around Gaur Purnima, and they brought 80 of these gongs, dum, 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 dum. And they have like 20 doing that way, 20 doing that way. It's a competition. So that's like loud Sankirtan, Nityananda Prabhu party, everyone's happy. But that's not Mangalarti Kirtan. Why Mangalarti Kirtan? You're waking the divine couple. No one likes a really annoying alarm clock. Right? Sumadhura dhvani kare. So the Guru Varga says some kirtan is soft, sweet, mellow, a prayer, an entreaty, and for their pleasure. If we want to practice bhakti, a very simple way, when you come together to do any bhakti activity, our lives are full of work and busyness and duties. We have to maintain our lives, naimitik karma, doing work, doing different things, nitya karma, regular activities. But when you practice bhakti, my recommendation is when you chant, when you sit in front of the deity, when you hear about Krishna, when you're doing any activity of bhakti or taking their prasad, you should think, how can I please Krishna? How can my activity be pleasing to Krishna? That mood is bhakti. So when we're doing a festival to please Krishna. We're celebrating His appearance, His glories, His name. Then we are in the mood of the line of the followers of Srimati Radhika. Because that desire is her nature, her essence, Ladini Shakti Sar. The essence of Ladini Shakti, the pleasure potency of Krishna, is the endeavor with body, mind, speech, continuously, without any cessation. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Ruttama. That topmost devotion is the unbroken flow of desire like a stream of honey, liquid ecstasy and sweetness. How can I please you? And all we pray for is their association, that we are accepted. I need you. Please accept me. Let me just be your devotee of your devotee. Oh Krishna, you have so many illustrious devotees, so many pure devotees, so many eternal associates. May I just be the devotee of the devotee of the devotee of the devotee of the devotee, the last one in line. Why? Because that's where I am. You're always the last in line when you join the line. That's how it works. Right? When you join a prasadam line, you're always the last one in line, except some places in India. You can fight for the front of the line. It's a battle for the front of the line, right? But we have festivals in the West. Whenever you join the line, you're the last one in line. So we pray, I want to be the devotee of the devotee of the devotee of the devotee, the last one. Why? I'm joining the line. And there's a special reason we pray like that, because it's very sweet. And with each passing, it becomes more sweet. It becomes more relishable with each pure devotee. More and more sweet. The sweetness enhances, doesn't diminish. It's ever blossoming, ever evolving, ever expanding, all abundant bliss. That's how it's described. We've been reading about this. We were memorizing this paragraph, right? The all abundant, ever expanding, eternal bliss, right? That means with each tasting, it becomes more sweet. That's how it's described. So we're praying for that, to relish that. And therefore we say, oh Krishna, I'm not trying to elbow out your devotees, you out of the way, and try to get ahead of the line. I want to take their remnants because it's more sweet. Right? This is Krishna. He said, I want to become my own devotee because I see how much they're just weeping in ecstasy. In Krishna Leela, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is enjoying more than Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more ecstatic than Krishna. We don't hear stories of Krishna weeping and the ground is becoming soaked with his tears 6-7 inches down. He's God. He is all blissful. And he is reciprocating with his devotees. He is experiencing all of their love. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I am more blissful. Why? He is the sequel to Krishna pastime. He said, I want to appear again as the devotee and relish the bliss. And he said, I will not be Krishna's devotee. I will be the devotee of his devotee. No, I will be the devotee of his devotee's devotee. What did Mahaprabhu pray? Again and again he said, Maj janmana phalamidam madukaita bhare mad prarthaniya madanugraha esha eva tad britya paricharaka britya sitimang smaralokanata. If you want to learn a verse, learn this verse. Maj janmana phalamidam madukaita bhare. Oh Krishna, oh killer of the demon of hypocrisy, Madhu. Please, I'm praying life after life for one thing. Madanugraha prarthana eva. My prayer for your mercy is that britya paricharaka britya. Brityasya timang smara lokanatha. O Lord of the worlds, Lokanath. I'm praying that I may be britya, the servant of your servant. No, britasya, the servant of that servant of your servant. Paricharena, I want to, paricharan, that means to perform worship. That means to offer my heart in love. That's worship. When we're offering incense or a ghee lamp or a flower or a conch or any offering, we're doing worship by offering our heart through these articles as a symbol of our love. Right? So I want to do that worship of your devotees, and I want to become the servant of your servant, 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 servant. That's not in this world, we think that's a low position. That world is the highest position. Okay? Anyone made sweet rice? The more you boil it, the better the sweet rice. Right? So this is condensed bliss. With each associate of Krishna, with each soul that develops love of God, it becomes more and more sweet. So therefore, the great mystery of bhakti, this is the great mystery of bhakti, the great enigma. How is it possible that it's ever increasing all abundant bliss? How is it possible? Tell me. So it's said that every jiva, every individual soul that's in this world, there are many unlimited liberated souls. But in this world, there are also unlimited conditioned souls. But each conditioned soul that develops bhakti is serving the desire of Srimati Radhika to please Krishna by bringing souls, by giving them bliss, by making them happy, and by establishing their relationship of love with Krishna. And so it's Ladini Shakti, the pleasure potency of Krishna, Swarup Shakti is internal potency, that manifests in the hearts of the devotees. And that principle of bliss within them, the Ananda Kan, the particle of bliss in your nature, her infinite reservoir of bliss, the infinite unending abode of transcendental bliss, that then comes into your heart like a ray of sunlight through her associates. Then it's Krishna reciprocating with his devotees that makes Krishna blissful. When Krishna is able to give his love to the devotees in reciprocation, he is blissful. And when the devotees are offering their love to Krishna, he is blissful. So Radharani is facilitating every soul's love for God. And people have questioned, oh, but Radharani, but what's left for me? Radharani gets all Krishna's love. I get this question a lot. What's left for me? Radharani gets all of Krishna's love. Krishna's always thinking of Radharani, Radhe, Radhe. Why are we always singing Radhe, 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 Radhe? People say, oh, Srila Narayan Maharaj followers just chanting Radhe, Radhe. Like they're Radhe, Radhe fanatics, Radhe, 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 Radhe. Every tree you go into Vrindavan is also a Radharani fanatic. Every tree in Vrindavan says Radhe, Radhe. Right? We are not saying Radhe, Radhe. Krishna is saying Radhe, Radhe. His own queens in Dwarka were jealous. Satyabhama, Rukmini, Krishna's in our bed. And actually he was crying like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he was crying, calling out, Radhe. He was trying to control himself, Sleeping next to Rukmini, calling Radhe. In his dream, he's like tossing and turning, Radhe, 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 and then Lalite, Vishake. All the queens are sitting together like, what can we do? We're so beautiful. They're the most beautiful, The gopis in Vrindavan are saying, oh Krishna, you are Mathura Nath. Radharani sings like this, Hey Mathura Nath, oh Lord of Mathura. There's so many beautiful city girls. We're just village girls. Mathura Nath, Brahmar Geet, the bumblebee pastime. Radharani singing to a bumblebee. The bumblebee is singing to her and she's saying, oh, bumblebee. Don't touch my feet. Why? I can see the reddish powder on your whiskers. Are they whiskers? What does bumblebee have? I don't know. Somebody who knows the animal kingdom better than I do. On his little, things. Huh? Mustache. You can look it up for me, thank you. Because you're trying to, what's it called? The bumblebees on his little, mustache.
I'm trying to look it up now.
All right. No problem. So Radharani says you have kumkum, this reddish powder, from the breasts of your Krishna's lovers in Mathura. Don't touch my feet. Don't touch my feet. So this is how the gopis think. Krishna's with all those city girls. Right? You find it?
I don't don't have a signal here.
Okay, no problem. We'll move on. We'll just call it a mustache.
Okay.
Right? So the point is that the queens have no shortcoming. They have no lacking in beauty and charm and sweetness. This is another detailed topic. Why is it that Krishna is only calling Radhe, Radhe, Lalita, Vishakha? But anyhow, he is. He's weeping. And they're thinking, why? You know? I'm not going to get into the reasons why. We've talked about this many times. But I'm trying to move forward in the narrative, right? Is there any love of Krishna left for me? Right? Is he going to call, hey, Mangale, hey, Vrindavane, hey, Tirthe, Vinode? What? All the other devotees. The point here is that Radharani facilitates the relationship of love between every soul and God. Okay? We think of things in a limited way. God is limited. He has this much love and Radharani gets it all. Right? It's not how it works. Krishna is infinite love. That is his nature. And it's said that the bhakti ras, the mood of love, when any soul realizes the relationship of love for God and is in the ever increasing, all abundant, all blissful exchange of love with God, according to their rasa, their nature, and all their different experiences, all the different moods and emotions, then Krishna is blissful, Radharani is blissful, the soul is blissful, because the purpose of existence has become fulfilled. Because the dharma of the jiva has become fully manifest. My dharma as a soul is to love God. Radharani helps us come to that position of love of God. So there's infinite love of Krishna that is there. The sun is the source of all light in this metaphor. So every photon, every particle of consciousness, the sun of love is more love than you could ever comprehend. Okay? Is there any love left for me? This is naivete. It's a good question, but it's naive. Okay? It's lack of understanding. Anandam buddhivardhanam, this is Mahaprabhu's teaching, his first teaching. By chanting the Mahamantra, you'll become purified. All your material contaminated ideas, all your material ego, lust. People say, oh, I'm pure. Right? Most people don't say that, but I'm just saying there's a reason that we are following a process that's purifying. Because those things are not nice. And when you're clear of them, right? It's like you're driving a car that's thick, 1 inch black grease on the wipers or whatever, on the screen. How you can't even see, you can't drive. Right? So when you clear your heart, then you can see yourself, and you can see God, then Anandam buddhivardhanam. You're in the ocean of bliss. That sun of bliss, infinite bliss, is, think of it as like a solar charge, because that's a sun example, right? Imagine how much energy does it take for the sun to light a particle, to give energy to a particle. So you have the infinite sun of love, and you're the particle of consciousness. And the sun of divine love is like a flood of nectar that has no beginning or end. Right? It's a flood of nectar that never comes to a conclusion. And it's ever expanding, and it's all abundant, and it's blissful, and it's full of variety. It's full of play. It's a dance. It's meeting and separation. It's laughter. It's tears. Right? It's Krishna says, I like when the gopis chastise me, because it's fun. The gopis' chastising words to me are more relishable than the prayers of the Vedas. Krishna's own words. Right? So that's the nature of their love and their bliss. But meditate on this idea, okay? Is there any love left for me is naive. People ask me this, that's why I'm talking about it. Radharani gets all Krishna's love. It's not fair. And we're praying to be her servant. How's it fair? Right? By developing bhakti, your dharma as a soul, that means your purpose is fully blossomed, manifested in your life. And your purpose is that exchange of love and experience of bliss. That's your purpose, to taste bliss. That's why it said in Sasha, Amritasya Putra, you are not the children of God, you are the children of bliss. And God is bliss. Bhagavat Swarupananda, his form is the abode of all bliss. And Ladini Shakti, Swarup Shakti Ananda is his internal potency, which is Bhakti Devi, the goddess of devotion. And as you pray to Bhakti Devi, the goddess of devotion, follow the method of bhakti and become purified, automatically bhakti arises. So we follow the process to purify ourselves through Harinam, remove our material desires. Vishaya Chariya Kabe Shuddha Habe Man, Kabe Hamo Herabo Shri Vrindavan. When will I go from Maya to actually witnessing these pastimes of Radha Krishna? Sumadura Dhvani Kare Jata Sakigan. It's very nice. Deities are very beautiful, very attractive. But we want to see Lalita and Vishaka singing. We want to see Rupa and Rati preparing and bringing all the articles for their decoration. First is a darshan, a vision. And as you progress more and more and more, through the natural evolution of consciousness and receiving of grace, you can actually enter those pastimes. Not prematurely, but still. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, this is the treasure buried in your own backyard. To Sanatana Goswami. He said, your treasure is buried in your own backyard. Just need to know where to dig. All right? Why? Okay, it's in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. We're going to have another class in a little bit, so we're just going to keep going for the flow of Gaur Purnima. On Gaur Purnima days, Gurudev would have 6-7 hours of classes. So we'll have class until we stop, and then we'll take a breath and start again. All right? Because also after lunch, we're going to cook chapan bhog for Thakurji. I mean, we're not having lunch, but we'll do another class at like 11:30, and we want to actually tell the pastime of his Abhishek, and we want to go through his pastimes. But Harikatha is such a thing, you have one idea and you have a different idea to speak on, you just enter whatever comes up. All right? But I'm trying to help us understand to have the right motivations in our life so that we don't waste our life as a practitioner devotee. That's my humble aspiration. Let myself and those I have some responsibility for to try and help together as family not waste our lives as a devotee. And the only way to do that, because we're doing everything right. Oh, but I went to Kirtan, I chanted the Mahamantra, I visited the devotees, I went to Vrindavan, I went to Vrindavan, I did Aarti, I followed Ekadashi, but there was a hole in your bucket. So all the nectar leaked out. What is that hole in the vessel? What was your motivation? What was your intention? What was your desire? What did you pray for? God is wish-fulfilling. His devotees are wish-fulfilling. Every time we finish a program, we bow to each other. Vancha, kalpa, tarubhyascha, kripa sindhu bhaivacha, patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo. And oh, devotee of Krishna, you are a wish-fulfilling desire tree. So I am chanting, I'm following Ekadashi, I'm worshiping the deity, I'm doing everything right. 30 years later, you say, but that's not fair. I did everything right. I did all the things I was supposed to do. You did action. What is your mood? What is your desire? What is your greed? What do you want? Otherwise, you can have a fire hose of bhakti activities. But your vessel has holes and it's just going straight through. Better to have a slow drip. And hold every drop. Don't let a single fragment out. Not a single molecule of bhakti should leave my heart. That should be our intention. Let not a H2O combination leave my heart of bhakti ras. Not one H2O, not even one O. Right? No H2O of bhakti should leave my heart. Not even H1O should leave my heart. Okay? Every drop I get, I'm going to keep. Why? By having clear aim and object. What is my goal? Our Gurudev established that. Every year he preached. Am I right or wrong? You've done 5 years of his lectures now. What is your goal? What do you want? You can only really want one thing in life. Okay? You can have a lot of supplemental desires, but you need one primary drive. Okay? One primary drive. Many supplementary drives, no problem. But if you want to realize the wealth of the pure love of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, develop one primary drive. That is the life of Raghunath Das Goswami. That is the life of all our acharyas. That is what they teach. They're ready to give up everything for that. That's why Mahaprabhu took sannyas. We'll get to that pastime. We're not there yet. At some point in life, you have to be ready to leave it all else behind. You can do it when you're old. You can do it when you're young. You can do it in the middle. Doesn't matter. Anytime you want to start, you start and you get in the line. Oh Lord, may I be the last one in line, because that's what is natural. And you develop a relationship of love with Krishna's devotees. I'll finish on this idea. Why is it so important? You know what time can you tell me what time it is in India, please?
India.
Yeah, give me time in India. Wow, we're going to have you come for more programs. We need a festival. Somebody call Krishna Chandrapur from Long Island. We need a Google guy.
6:43.
All right. Can you check what time is sunset in Mayapur?
That I can do, yes.
Okay, here we go. Jai.
Okay.
No problem.
I just got my internet back, so that works.
Moonrise. Sunrise. Did I say sunrise? I don't know. Sunset. Moonrise. Moonrise, correct. When's moonrise? When's the moonrise in Mayapur? No problem, no problem.
It looks like it's already...
Harivo, Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. All right, the Sachinandan Gaur Hari, the moon is rising in Mayapur. This is humility. We are followers of Mayapur. We are not New Yorkarians. All right? We don't want to be Americans. We want to be residents of Mayapur. We want to be residents of Vrindavan. Therefore, Rupa Goswami said, Tishtan Braje, Tad Anuragi Jananugami, Kalam Nayed Kilamiti Upadesha Saram. I want to be a resident of the eternal abode of Vrindavan, of Mayapur. That is primary. I am secondary. My home is secondary. This is our second home. Mayapur is our primary residence. Okay? So Lord Chaitanya is appearing right now in Mayapur. That full moon that is risen in Mayapur, that same moon, the prasad, the remnants of that moon that appeared in Mayapur, the appearance of Mayapur Chandra, Mahaprabhu Krishna, is now going to arrive here. That full moon will arrive here, that same moon. You can, but I see the moon. I saw the moon last night. Last night is Gaur Purnima. Because I'm a New Yorkarian. Mahaprabhu appeared in New York, and Mayapur will take our remnants. Am I wrong?
Sounds right to me.
I am not wrong or right. It's based on mood. This is what we follow, this is our mood. But Rupa Goswami said, try to reside in Vrindavan. If you can't by body, do it by mind. So we are not interested in quarrel, but it's the duty of every disciple to follow their guru. So we are following our teacher, we're following our lineage. With each passing, it gets more sweet. So we are last in line. So I'm following the person who is realized, pure devotee of Krishna, who is most intimately connected in our line, our Gurudev, Swami Prabhupada. We're not getting into politics. It's the opposite. But it's also our duty to explain our tradition. So I'm explaining our tradition. Why are we doing it today? Why didn't we bathe them last night? Oh, you're a separatist. No, we're a traditionalist. We are traditionalists. That is our culture. We are traditional Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Swami Prabhupada in his time wrote in his commentary, Charitamrita, oh, today it is Gaur Purnima in Mayapur. Today it is Gaur Purnima in Mayapur. He wrote in his commentary, and he said, I am in America, or I'll find the direct quote. He said, I am observing Gaur Purnima today, because today is Gaur Purnima in Mayapur. As we speak right now, in Vrindavan Dham, they're bathing Sachinandan Gaur Hari. And he has appeared. And that same moon, the prasad of that same moment will be here this evening. And we are celebrating the whole day. People get fanatic about timing. So, but is it full moon rise here? But is it this there? It's this there. We're doing our best. We're in Maya. Okay? But it's the mood. We're doing our best. The whole day we're celebrating. We woke up this morning and they're celebrating in India. And the whole day we're celebrating. And people say, but you're not doing Gaur Purnima on the right day. We say we did it for 4 days for that reason. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We've been celebrating Gaur Purnima for 4 days. And you know what we're going to be doing tomorrow? Celebrating Gaur Purnima. Because we're going to be hearing his pastimes, hearing his glories, chanting his names. Our whole life is a celebration. Naam Gokula Mahotsava. Our whole life is a celebration. When you want that, you want to celebrate the joy of love for God, of relationship with God, then you get off the platform of your mundane ego and mundane intelligence, and you enter the realm of the heart, and you develop real wisdom and real relationship. And then every step is a dance. Every word is a song. That is our process. Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki. So we have to stop class now because I'm sure right at 7 or so, I'm sure I was watching right before I was coming to class. What time are they going to do Abhishek? So I have to go check. But I think they must be doing it right about 7. And that means 9:30 for us. So we're going to do Guru Puja. After Guru Puja, we'll do some kirtan for Mahaprabhu. And then everyone can do some, chant a little bit and we'll gather again together as soon as you're ready. I'm always ready. Right? I didn't get to read the first verse of the book I wanted to read. And that was like 3 chapters before the part I wanted to read, which is his Abhishek, Mahaprabhu's Abhishek. But I didn't want to skip ahead because it was really sweet how we're talking about each of his days, his first days home after he received Gopal Mantra. So we're going to continue forward. The first verse, Jaya Jaya Jagad Mangala Gaura Chandra, Dhana Deha Hridaye Tomara Padadhanda. All glories to Gaura Chandra. All glories to Gaura Chandra, who is the benefactor of the entire universe. Please give your lotus feet in charity to my heart. All glories to Sri Gauranga along with his devotees. By hearing the topics of Lord Chaitanya, one attains pure devotion and love for the Lord. When all the devotees observe the Lord's love, they will struck with wonder. Sachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo.